Well, this is Sarah of Sarastrology, and this is part 2 of chart rectification. And today I'm going to demonstrate another way in which to rectify your chart. This time it's using the gestation of the moon. So we're using the gestation period to time the correct birth chart. So birth time. So basically, the theory is that your ascendant should match the degree of the moon at the time of conception. We're going to look at where the moon is placed in an approximate time birth chart. So if the moon is above the ascendant-descendant line, you're going to use the difference between the moon and the ascendant, and if for the first step, and if it's between the moon and if it's below the ascendant-descendant line, you're going to use the difference between the moon and the ascendant. And then once we find that, you divide it by 12, and then you're going to divide the difference by 12, and then you're going to add the time for gestation. And so if it was above, you use the descendant, you're going to add 258 degrees, or 258 days, and if it's below, you're going to add 273. And then after that, you can convert the date and time of the approximate chart into a Julian calendar model. And then after you've done that, you will subtract the answer from adding the gestation period from the Julian Julian calendar model that you got from the approximate birth time. And then once you get that, you will convert it back into the Julian calendar. You'll make a new chart for that specific date and time. And then after that, locate the moon on the newly made chart, and you'll set the ascendant for the degree of the moon. And then after the ascendant, you will look at the moon again. Take note of that. Take note of where the new position of the moon is. It'll probably change by just a couple degrees. And then that degree, where the moon is, when you reset the ascendant, will be where the moon is will be the ascendant degree for your approximate time chart, which will then be your final rectified chart. So I'm going to do a demonstration of that. And so this is a demonstration. And as you can see, this person's moon is under the ascendant-descendant line. So subtract those numbers of degrees, and so you subtract 28 degrees, 8 minutes by 10 degrees, 52 minutes, and that equals about 17 degrees. And I changed mine into decimals for this purpose, my minutes into decimals, just to make it easier for adding and subtracting. So 17.26 repeating. And if you divide that by 12, you get 1.4388 repeating. And then since this person's moon is under the ascendant-descendant line, we're going to add 273, and that equals 274.388, 8 repeating. And then going to convert that date into the Julian time, and the software I'm using is Rectify Gold, and luckily in the reports under the chart analysis it gets that. So you subtract this number, this very relatively long number, and it will equal 2439264.712754. And I'm going to post a link to a good website that will do Julian to Georgian calendar conversions, so then you can do it yourself. But I've already done it, and the new date is actually May 19th. Well, the time of conception should have been May 19th, 1966 at 5:06 a.m. 21 seconds, which I already have a chart for that right here. And as you can see, the ascendant is at 20, but the moon is actually at 16 degrees Taurus, so the person's last So this individual's birth time was actually pretty close, because we have the ascendant at 10 degrees Taurus. So with this new one, we have it at 16 degrees 5 Taurus. So we are going to put the ascendant at 1605 Taurus. Should be pretty simple. And with that new ascendant degree, we get the moon was at 15 degrees 58 minutes Taurus. So 1558 is the degree that we want this person's personal birth chart to be at for the ascendant. So we're going to rectify that one, and we're going to put it at 1558 Taurus, because it was at 10 degrees 52. So 1558. And the birth time was 10:37 a.m. And now, just a few minutes after that, it was, with rectification, we found it to be at 10:52 a.m. with ascendant at 15 degrees Taurus. And that is how we do chart rectification using the moon. For my next video, I'm going to show you 2 more ways, which will be shorter, and that will be all for chart rectification. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel, and please visit my website at www.sarastrology.moonfruit.com.